You can hear my show on Stitcher. Stitcher is radio on demand. Download the free app today. Listen anytime, anywhere.
Create custom playlists. Over 20,000 shows to discover. Rate and review my show, the GMR Podcast, on Stitcher. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
On demand and on the go. No downloading, no syncing, no wasted memory. Stream your favorite podcasts. Don't have Stitcher? Download it free today at Stitcher.com or in the App Store. Who is Jean? That's a question that quite a few people already know the answer to, and now it's time for you to find out who is Jean. Go to whoisjean.com, that's WHOISZHON, and you can watch the entire 20-episode series for free. It's the story of Jean, an alien, or is he, who crash-landed on Earth many, many years ago, who has now turned himself in to the authorities and claims he'll answer all of their questions. Or will he? Check it out. Whoisjean.com. WHOISZHON.com.
GMR. You are listening to the GMR Podcast.
Support your locals, starting with Space Smoke Shop, located on 125 East Pennington Street, Tucson, Arizona.
Space Smoke Shop features local glass, cheap tobacco, and any drink you can think of. We're also a hookah lounge and a venue. Like us on Facebook to keep up with shows, deals, and products.
Every second and fourth Tuesday is Punk Rock Tuesday at Space Smoke Shop, 125 East Pennington Street, downtown Tucson, Arizona. Be sure and tell them you heard about it on the GMR Podcast.
Coming in 2014, the director's cut of Writing Frenzy. Frenzy, the hottest comic book on the market. Billy Shaw, the screenwriter assigned to write the Frenzy movie. One problem. Billy's totally blocked. Now, Billy travels to the comic book store that the creator of Frenzy died in an attempt to inspire himself. Will it do the trick? With help from the store's owners, John and Pete, it just might. Writing Frenzy. It's about the process. The new comedy from Pondo Enterprises, coming in 2014.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow.
That's so true. GMR Podcast, show 92, coming to you in surround sound again, unless you're listening on Buzzsprout, in which case, glorious mono.
Buzzsprout. Anybody using that thing anymore?
A couple of people. A handful of people. Okay, we went and spent money that we didn't have today. But, YOLO, right? We're going to Sarah's Halloween party, which we'll be reporting from in a few weeks. And there's a costume with some change in the bag. Gotta have bag noise on the show, or it's just not a show as far as I'm concerned. And then I spent less money than I would have online. Hey, I can return this by the 17th. So tell her to move that Halloween party up a little bit there. And, if you want to pick up a little part-time job, now it's time to go over to Spirit Halloween. And, they even let me keep the hanger.
Well, you wouldn't do that at your place?
Well, usually they put, they use the hanger again to hang something else up.
Yeah, there's a lot of costumes out there.
Never really owned a scarf before.
Never?
No.
When you were a kid, you didn't have a scarf?
Well, when we're in Tucson,
No, I meant back when you were in Ginny.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
You never went to Ginny?
Nope.
Virginia?
Virginia, I know. But Jenny, Well, Jenny was a character in Harry Potter, right?
No, it's Ginny. You know what they call it? Maybe not. Maybe I just got that from,
I'll have to take you with me next time I go, and we'll
Beverly
remove
Hillbillies.
that from you. So now I'm a full-fledged member of Gryffindor, because you can see this. This is visual podcast.
Yeah, it does look official.
When they're outside freezing to death.
I
They
guess
only wear these for like a minute in the movie.
just long enough to market them.
Shit's warm, I'll tell you that. See,
Yeah.
it's a costume and it's practical.
Which is more I could say for my costume.
Well, you know,
But it should be fun.
let's start a new Borat. Is nice. High five. I bought a Gryffindor scarf.
I'm gonna
I've been
save,
wanting one for years.
I'm gonna save mine. What if he's surprised?
Yeah. So you all can see it on and you even get a bag of Spirit Halloween. We were going to go to Party City, but after spending over an hour in the Halloween store, we checked out every nook and cranny. We decided, screw it. Let's just buy the stuff here and be done with it. I'm happy with it.
Oh, if we'd had $100, we'd be pimping.
That literally could have bought that deluxe pimp suit with the cane and the glasses and the brass knuckles and the fake gold teeth and all the shit. Well, the pimp hat, the red one was only like $9.
Yeah, I was afraid I'd wear it all year long.
No feather boa coming out of it though.
There was a time when
Time was.
Time was. You know the ostrich farm outside of town?
Oh yeah.
We stopped there one time after a skinny puppy. Is that a real thing?
Oh wow, skinny puppy.
I went to see Skinny Puppy in Phoenix.
Whose idea was that show?
JJ.
Yeah, I thought so. Interesting. They're one of the early techno bands.
Chili cheese. You like the chili cheese?
I just like watching the light blink as I.
That's the open package.
These are regular Fritos. No.
Surprised that never happened.
No. Once I got a Hot Pocket that didn't have anything in it.
Really?
Remember talking about that on the podcast?
No.
I used to eat Hot Pockets all the time.
What kind?
The pepperoni, because when you go to Costco, not like this was an ad or anything.
Back when you were still eating
Back when I was still eating the meat,
processed meat or any meat.
I'd get the box of Hot Pockets at Costco. I mean, yeah, you get one flavor,
Like
but you get a bunch of them.
Like a
It's
24
cheaper.
pack or something.
Yeah, like a 30 box full of pepperoni. Hot Pockets. Hot Pocket. So I would be eating those for lunch every day. And one day, I bit into one, and it was empty. It had nothing in it. And yet, it smelled like it did. I
Wow.
think all of the flavoring and scent is in the crust.
Not in the actual product.
Not the actual meat itself. Yeah, I guess somebody forgot to fill up the... So I had an empty pocket that day, and then I kind of stopped eating those.
I went to Circle K one time. I used to live off Hot Pockets and beef jerky.
That's back when Hot Pockets were the old type, before they started seasoning the bun.
They had the
bread.
big giant ones, the big like quarter pounders.
Message incoming from the big giant head.
And I'm looking in there at the Hot Pocket rack, and I reached down and I pulled one out. It was all fucking moldy everywhere. Just riddled
Moldy
with mold.
pocket.
It was disgusting, dude.
Wow. How did it taste?
I did not buy it. I chose not to buy it.
After I took it out of the microwave, you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference.
That's probably true.
Jim Gaffigan did that Hot Pocket bit. And afterwards, I noticed Hot Pocket started improving their product. Coincidence?
It was a popular.
I like the hot ham and cheese ones.
Those were good.
I like those.
Oh. was another good one. The pepperoni pizza, that was probably my go-to.
The old standby in the breakfast pocket.
I never tried the breakfast pocket.
Had egg and some sort of a sausage variant. Maybe I should try a tofurkey this year for Thanksgiving.
Or we could do, I don't know, that's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, it is. Another MST marathon.
Maybe we could do that thing I've always wanted to do with you and go over to the...
I can watch it on the TV.
It's right down the street, the Godiva's.
Oh, yeah.
Restaurant. It's all vegan.
Act like it's a Christmas story, and the dog ate our turkey, so now we have to go to the Chinese restaurant.
Is that how that movie ended?
Something like that, right?
I don't fucking remember.
I've only seen it 10 billion
Me
times.
too. The kid's tongue got stuck to the pole.
It's like she keeps saying, "Quit eating off that bird. It's not cooked yet. You get worms or whatever." Because he's like trying to take pieces of the dad's trying to
Eat raw turkey?
Yeah, because he can't stay away from it because it looks good. And then some mishap happens where all these roaming dogs come through the house or something, right? And they eat the bird, and so then the only place that's open is the Chinese restaurant.
Honestly, it's been about...
And they eat a duck that has a head on it.
At least 20 years since I've seen this movie.
Wow. They show it 24-hour marathon on Christmas Day on one of those cable channels, TNT or TBS.
I have had opportunities to see it in the past 20 years. I think I've just been like, okay. I kind of remember exactly what happened. I think I did.
Ralphie, you'll shoot your eye out. From the director of Porky's Christmas Story.
Which do you think is better?
They're really kind of equals in different respects. Same time period, different
Bush.
shenanigans,
Not
yes.
as much Bush in Christmas Story.
Not nearly as much. Oh, fudge. But I didn't say fudge.
It's a classic movie.
Oh, that's good shit. I really wanted to see it when it came out, but nobody would take me to it.
These HR Puffin stuff here are extensive. Whereas the Land of the Lost lyrics, they have the first part of them, but not the second part. You ever heard the second part?
Oh, I'm sure. I've seen every episode of that. I even remember the remake of Land of the Lost from the 90s.
Oh,
That was kind of weird.
I do not remember that.
It was a Saturday morning TV show.
Can you find it on YouTube?
They rebooted it. What can't you find on
I don't
YouTube?
know.
YouTube constantly amazes me. And now that I can watch it on TV, hey, if you have an Xbox 360 that is, and you have an internet connection, Wi-Fi or whatever, you don't need gold anymore in order to watch YouTube through it. So I've been watching that left and right. Getting Dug with High, one of my new favorite shows. Shout out.
Marty gave me this Puffin Stuff and Other Stuff book, which is pretty much the complete history of the Sid and Marty Kraft. Croft.
Like Seals and Crofts.
And it's pretty awesome because, I don't know if I mentioned this in the podcast, but on Sunday mornings, don't want to mix that up. They show Land of the Lost and HR Puffin Stuff.
What are you going to see if you accidentally get up Saturday morning?
I don't fucking know. I could set the VCR when I go to sleep tonight.
Whatever it is isn't nearly as interesting.
We can look it up. I think we did look it up and it wasn't as interesting.
What about Antenna TV?
Fuck, I have no idea what's on Antenna TV in the morning. Every morning they show 2 episodes of I Dream of Jeannie and Bewitched back to back.
Anyway, our costumes ended up being cheaper than we thought they were going to be, so that's good. I wanted to spend $40 on that 70s outfit, but I just couldn't see spending that much money.
Now it's something that's like Comic-Con almost. If you want to do it right,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta get 6 months ahead of it. Oh, I love me some Andy Griffith. The Odd Couple's on tonight. They switch it up every day at 10 o'clock. They show it different. Sometimes it's Barney Miller.
Yeah, you'd be watching The Rogues in Dragnet. No, that's on Saturday mornings. So.
That's what we're talking about. I thought.
Not nearly as interesting.
There are some interesting dragnets. Oh, I'm fucking loving the He-Man too.
I have the power.
There's always a lesson to be learned, usually about friendship and trust.
A little moral at the end.
Yeah. Told by Adam, not He-Man.
Or sometimes it'll be Tilo or Man at Arms.
really?
Yeah, they mix
They
it up
switch
a
it
little
up?
bit, yeah.
Oh,
Sorceress does a few of them. It was kind of like G.I. Joe, and that's knowing is half the battle.
Nah, I could never watch G.I. Joe. I always thought it was... pissed me off that they had many little G.I. Joes. 'Cause I like the the 12-inch G.I. Joes. The kind you can shove up your butt. You know what I'm talking about?
I thought you were going to say it was because it was fascist. G.I. Joe upsets me because they promote war.
Nobody ever got hurt.
On either side.
I know. It's like, that's another reason I didn't like the show. Is because, like, this is not a realistic depiction of what's happening in a war zone.
Mm-hmm. Green Hornet Part 1 of a two-parter.
Yeah.
You gotta wait a whole week to see the second part of it. You know,
It's like the old days.
in China they called that show Kato.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Because Bruce Lee is the star of it, though.
It's pretty much, I don't know, it isn't like he does anything that I've seen. Oh, and then Leave It to Beaver, the Donna Reed show, which is horrible. I don't
No,
know.
I've seen every episode of Donna Reed.
Have you?
I used to watch that on Nick at Night.
Oh, I wonder what's on Mystery Hunters this week. Oh, the Land of the Law, or the H.R. Puffin stuff is trash for a tooth.
No, tooth for a tooth.
Tooth for a tooth. I'm way over here, she's way over there. Several feet closer than I am to the screen.
Did you ever see all 5 Bruce Lee movies?
Probably.
There's the Big Boss, which is sometimes called Fist of Fury, where they're like freezing people in blocks of ice or some shit. Then there's a Chinese Connection, which is also known as Fist of Fury. So the names get a little mixed up.
I would like to think I've seen these movies, but
That's something where the whole dojo gets wiped out and they gotta seek revenge. Then
I
of
still
course,
love those fucking movies.
Return of the Dragon with Chuck Norris. You seen that one where Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris fight?
Is that the one where he fights Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, that one's a Game of Death. That's the unfinished movie. Yeah.
So there's no version of it? They never...
Well, there's a re-edit of the 20 minutes that exists that he shot while he was alive, and then there's the version where other people completed the movie, and it's like a fill-in for him. That's probably the version you saw, because that was the one that actually came out in the late 70s. Then, what was the other one? I'm drawing a blank here. I should remember all this. Obviously, there's Enter the Dragon, with it, which everybody has seen, and if you haven't, you need to go watch that right now. That's the one with John Saxon, and they go to the camp where the bad guy's doing training for the karate tournament or some shit.
It's all a blur. When you say John Saxon, I start seeing every John Saxon movie in my head. Well, we didn't finish looking at them. Ooh. I wanted to see what was on after.
Oh, okay. I'll go back to that.
And go back to that, folks.
TNT cancels Dallas. Oh, shit.
What? Not again.
Just in. Let's see here. Oh, maybe there is just the... Enter the Dragon is the fourth movie. That's right. Because the fourth movie would be a Game of Death. So there was The Big Boss, Chinese Connection, Way of the Dragon, and Enter the Dragon. And then a shitload of movies starring Bruce L.I.
Oh yeah, I've seen several of those.
Somebody else. And then there's a bunch of movies with Bruce Lee in the title where they just take clips from those movies and mix it in. And, I mean, they really tried to milk that as much as possible. The nice thing is they have it out on Blu-ray now where you can hear them in the original Mandarin. So if you want to watch it and not have bad lip sync.
And it couldn't hurt you to learn some Mandarin.
You know, it wouldn't. We're going to start doing the show partially in Mandarin, so...
Yeah.
But what did you want to see?
That's fun to keep going.
I want to get some Gilligan. Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. How many episodes of that they show in a row?
4.
Till when?
Till noon, when the Brady Bunch comes on, and 2 hours of Brady Bunch, a little bit of Love Boat, Remington Steele.
Yeah, I got my VCR set for Love Boat.
Streets of San Francisco, Rockford.
What I like to do is record the Love Boat on Sunday, and then I watch it the next day at 10 when it used to be on.
A little bit of Bookham Dano. The Saint at 1 a.m. All sorts of shit. Pass out to Columbo at 8
What
o'clock.
time is Mission Impossible on?
11.
11. You know what I've been watching lately? One Adam 12. Or Adam 12.
Oh. How's that been?
Yeah, it's as good as any of the other crap you see.
So adequate.
Yeah.
See how many listeners.
Sometimes I watch these shows and I feel like I'm in the 70s.
Now it's interesting. Our latest episodes, not so many listens, but apparently the old ones are still gathering steam. Look at that.
Well, maybe people don't want to jump right into the new ones
Yeah.
if they haven't heard the old ones.
And they're not listening to any of the most popular, they're just listening to random old ones. So I guess we still have an audience out there. They'll get around to listening to this episode in about a year from now. So
That'll work out fine.
Mm-hmm.
Get any listener feedback?
None as always.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, if we got a tweet, I'd be kind of surprised. At GMR Podcast.
What if it's negative?
I'll take that. I mean, somebody's,
Cares.
well, we just got some lurkers. I mean, I don't write into the podcasts I listen to, so...
I think if I had a internet connection, I would be doing that. Commenting on all the wrestling crap. Fucking with the Tell 'em Steve Dave guys. Last week on Tell 'em Steve Dave, they pointed out this Reddit chat room.
Oh, wow.
Fucking, Walsh was trying to keep it from Brian. Because he didn't want him to go over the deep end or just lose himself in it. And it sounded like, the way they made it sound was like instantly, as soon as he heard about it, he's like his whole manner changed. He started looking at this shit. So we missed Tusk. We didn't get our shit together quick enough to go see Tusk.
It only played for 2 weeks at the one screen here in Tucson. Maybe, just maybe, it'll end up at the dollar movies in a week or two. Well, that suits my budget a little more after spending all that money on Harry Potter
Is that what they do with the
products.
prints?
Usually.
Or they're not even prints
Well,
anymore.
you have the digital projection, so I would think that makes it even easier. Yeah, we'll see. But after that Guardians of the Galaxy experience, well, maybe Tusk wouldn't be as loud of a movie. I wouldn't think.
Is that what got you, the noise?
Yeah. It seems like movies are getting louder. It doesn't really add to the experience for me. It just starts to become a bit of a nuisance. I walked out of Guardians with a massive headache. But I am glad I saw it in the theater, because I didn't want to be the one person on the planet who didn't see it in the theater. But I thought it was alright. I didn't think it was the be-all, end-all of all time, but I thought it was alright. It's definitely in the top half of Marvel movies.
They say it's this generation's Star Wars.
Wow, I was hoping Star Wars would be this generation's Star Wars.
That might be. But we'll have to wait a year, right?
No.
What's it coming out Christmas next year?
Yeah, that's coming up real soon. About 14 months until episode 7. The movie they claimed would never happen. And people are worried about it's going to be horrible. Well, we've already seen that. But that's a whole other podcast. And really, how horrible is it? Well, there's some parts that just are a little clunky, but they're not all bad. 1, 2, and 3. You just got to be in that Star Wars state of mind. I still haven't seen all the Clone Wars cartoons, and there's some new cartoon on now that I'm so out of it. I need this stuff on disc. Hard to keep up with otherwise. Oh, you might have noticed that the after show hasn't been present lately. I figure when we do an after show, we'll have an after show, and if we don't, that's fine. You get to go on with your business a little bit quicker. Not have to be so tethered to the GMR podcast every week. Oh, crap. Speaking of which, we're done.
Hey,
That was
so
fast.
in 4 weeks, we're going to do a special Halloween party podcast.
because I love to leave the house on Halloween.
Don't you, though?
Yeah, because
Drive.
nothing bad happens on that day.
Well,
Actually, I like leaving the house less the day after, the recovery day, where... Yeah, but I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole other... But yeah, we'll be there in costume. You'll have to see it to believe it.
put some pictures out on Instagram or whatever, our Twitter page.
Mark Brady's going as bearded guy. That's going to be pretty
again.
interesting.
Yeah, we should just fucking me and Mark should just get the CC top outfits and just fucking just be like, fuck it.
There's an app for that.
Is there? For fucking it?
GMR.
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 GMR. Wow.